How rebels toppled Assad government in 13 days. Rebels in Syria have fought the autocratic regime of Bashar al-Assad for 13 years but failed to topple the government. Then, in a sudden offensive that lasted less than 13 days, the 5-decade rule of the Assad family was decimated. The president was forced to flee the country. Now, opposition forces claim to have control of Syria's capital, Damascus. How did it happen? The timing. The rebels knew that the Assad regime was more vulnerable than ever. In the past, to fend off resistance, Assad relied on key allies Russia and Iran. But Moscow was caught up in its war in Ukraine and Tehran was engaged in a conflict with Israel. With Assad's allies distracted, Damascus was left fully exposed. Hezbollah, which had played a major role in Assad's fight against the rebels, suffered heavy losses after Tel Aviv wiped out its leader Hassan Nasrallah and several other commanders. Additionally, Syrian tanks and planes were grounded due to a lack of fuel caused by large-scale corruption and looting, according to a source who spoke to Reuters. So, low on morale and poorly equipped, the Syrian military stood no chance against the sudden and multiple offensives launched by the rebels. Ankara was not behind the offensive and did not provide consent, said Turkey's Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs regarding the Assad regime's collapse. But the rebels would not have moved forward without at least a signal from Turkey. Turkey has long supported the Syrian opposition, although it considers the main force in the rebel alliance, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham (HTS), to be a terrorist group. It is believed that HTS and its leader Abu Mohammed al-Golani were the masterminds behind the all-out offensive in Syria. A Turkish official told Reuters that HTS does not receive orders or direction from us and does not coordinate its operations with us either. As Damascus undergoes regime change, Turkey has reasons to feel relieved. The war in Syria has caused a large wave of refugees to enter Turkey, which has become a significant domestic issue. For years, Turkey has urged the Bashar al-Assad regime, once a close ally, for a political solution to the crisis, but it received little response. Damascus saw this as a weakness and insisted on complete withdrawal of Turkish forces from Syria. This was not an option for Ankara, as it feared that doing so would lead to a further influx of refugees. The rebels sensed the tension between Damascus and Turkey. A Syrian opposition source told Reuters that the rebels shared their plans with Turkey after Ankara's attempts to engage Assad failed. Turkey now hopes that peace in Syria will create an environment conducive to the return of refugees. Another winner in the fall of Bashar al-Assad's regime is Israel. The regime change in Damascus has blocked the route through which Iran supplied arms to Hezbollah in Lebanon. Tel Aviv can now effectively target and weaken Hezbollah further. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has welcomed the change in Syria, calling it a historic day. He also stated that Israel's offensive against Hezbollah was instrumental in bringing the regime change in Syria.